The lighting is not so good, and I also need to reapply lip gloss. I don't care because I'm not trying to make like a curated video. And yeah, that's a start.
Hey,
and move away from here. Hi guys. I should stop saying but okay, I'm going to be doing my top books of 2024, novel edition, or will I say fiction edition, because I didn't even really, to be honest, I didn't even really read a lot of so we are going to be doing my top reads of 2024. I've selected 10, I don't know if you can say it, 10 books I already said I loved. I read more than that, but these are my top 10. And it's okay if you've read the book and you don't think that the order is it matches with your own order of which book should come first, because this is my own top 10. So you know, my number, let's start from 10, right? So my number 10, and to be honest, this list was very hard to make because I love all the books here, but obviously not in the same order. But some books were very hard to like place. Like, should I place it number 6, but this number 10 book is really good. Don't get it twisted. This number 10 was really good, but I don't know why it's number 10. I guess I just love the 9 other books more. But now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, I'm not so sure. But let's just go with it. So my number 10 book is The Designated Friend by Drew Taylor. It's I chose this book as number 10. I don't know why. The book is about two best friends, Hadley and Braxton. Hadley is the girl, Braxton is the guy. And it's a Christian rom-com, road trip kind of vibe book. It was really nice. So basically, Hadley is this girl, and then she has had so many relationships, and then Braxton is like her childhood best friend. I think they have been friends for about 15 years or more, I think. I can't remember right now. I read that book since like, you guys now. I read that book since like March, April, so I'm not sure at this point. But I love the book because it was really cute. See, I don't want to give it out. You're not even making me say rubbish. They might like suspense, so yeah, I will not spoil the book for you, but it's a really great book. They go on this road trip for her friend's wedding, and then along the way things begin to unfold, you know, that kind of thing. So basically, whenever she's in a relationship, the guy is not in a relationship, and when he's in a relationship, she's not in a relationship. So it has always been like bad timing for them, and you know, you can imagine what will happen next. The book is really cutesy. It's nice. And number 9 is The Bodyguard by Katherine Center. Oh my god, I discovered Katherine this year, and she's a very good author because another of her book is still on this list, and she's a really great author. I just love the way she writes. It's really contemporary, but not too simplistic. So I was telling somebody the other day that if an author can write a book and a 13-year-old reads it and it's not too difficult for them to understand, and somebody like in their 20s or 30s reads the book and it's not too simplistic, like, that person has done a great job. So Katherine is that woman. She's a really great author. So basically, The Bodyguard follows the story of this executive protective agent, also known as a bodyguard. Her name is I can't remember her name right now, but I wrote her name somewhere. Hannah Brooks, because I've read so many books this year, so many names. Her name is Hannah, and then she's basically assigned to protect this like mega superstar actor named Jack Stapleton. The name is so actor coded. Oh my god, I'm squatting, so my knees are killing me. So let me sit. So she has been assigned to protect him because he's supposed to come to this small town and do stuff and whatever, and she's the agent. So you know, it's a love book, so you can imagine what will happen. So it just shows like them trying to navigate being protector versus a bit protector and protectee and then falling in love. They are trying to keep it professional, but they are also falling in love, you know. So, and it's really cool because normally, like when you watch a movie about the bodyguard, it's normally the guy that's the bodyguard, and then the woman is the one that needs protection. So in this case, now that the guy is now the one that needs protection and his bodyguard or his EPA is a woman, it's so cool. So I liked that twist. It was really fun to read. My number 8 is The Words We Lost by Nicole, Deese. Nicole, this is also an author I found last year and I love so much. She's a Christian author, so this book is a Christian book. It basically follows the story of Ingrid. She works in all these what do they call them, publishing houses basically. So she's a literary. Ingrid edits books, she reads books, she has a good eye for good books, and so she reads books and then she's able to edit them to make them great books. So she's that. And so she her best friend Sissy, who has died, you will know from the beginning of the book, so this is not me spoiling the book. So Sissy is dead now, and then Sissy created a, what do I call it, a series of books, and so the last book has not been released and she's dead, and she was not able to submit the book before she died. So now it's like, did she make the book? And her publishing house is putting pressure on her to find the book because it's her best friend, so she should go back to their hometown and find the book. And basically Ingrid has this guy she used to like back in the day. His name is Joel. Joel is Sissy's cousin, so three of them used to be like best friends in that little town. So you can imagine big girl, big town, coming back to her little town, you know, giving Hallmark vibes. But it's not as cliche as Hallmark. I'm not saying that because Hallmark is cliche, it's not good. I still love Hallmark, so don't get it twisted. But basically, it just takes you through that journey, and it's a really fun book too. Not just fun, and the book is so heartbreaking. It breaks your heart and then it mends it back together again. The book was so good. I literally cried when I read this book, and I don't know why it's number 8. Now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, should it have been number 8? I don't know. That's why I say, but making this list was so hard, but I did it. But the book was very good. There was this line in the book, I don't want to give it out, but that was my favorite line when Joel was talking to Ingrid. I don't want to spoil it, but I will never forget that line till I die. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll forget it next year, who knows. Number 7 book, I loved this book so much. I think it should have been number 8 too, but anyway, my number 7 is The One with the Kiss Cam by Steele. And it follows the story of this girl who goes on a first date that is such a disaster. Like, this dude he has no manners. He's so ras. As in, the man, I don't even know if to call him man now. The guy, the boy, he's just ras. That's all I can say about the dude. And so she goes on that first date, and the first date is in a, I think, basketball game. I don't know if it's basketball, but the one game thing, one of these sports, and that's where they are having their first date. And then the guy is just, and so she's now sitting beside her is the ras guy that she's going on the first date with, and then on the other side is this very cute guy. His name is Luke, and her name is Nora. So she meets Luke, and then they start to fight about like the armrest, and it's just very cute. And then there's, you know, this kiss cam in all these movies where like they'll put your face on the screen and then you guys are supposed to kiss. Is that so? Obviously they don't know each other now, so how will they come and be? But anyway, they actually do. I don't spoil it, but the book is really great. And then they now go on this like after the sports thing, she tells the ras guy that she cannot go out with him, you know, because he basically, the date was just a disaster. So she obviously will not go out with him. And then yeah, that happens. And then Luke now brings up the idea that they should go on like this wild adventure that night. And he just basically put out like, he basically says they should bring out stuff from their bucket list and do. And I know that is wild because you just met this boy this time. What if he's a serial killer? But me, I like the book. Obviously, in real life, I will definitely not be going out with somebody I have never met in the night because, you know. And actually, in the book, she actually says, what if this dude is a serial killer? But then, he's not giving serial killer vibes, so yeah, he's not a serial killer. So yes, I'll just put number 5 and 6 together because they were both in one series. So my number 6 is All That Really Matters, and then number 5 is All That It Takes, both by Nicole Deese. At this point, you should know that I really love Nicole Deese. She's a great writer, that's all I'll say. So the books basically is about 2 siblings, they are twins, Miles and Molly Mackenzie. They are obviously not identical twins because they are guy and girl. All That It Takes is Miles, and All That Really Matters is Molly. And oh my god, the guy that they pair Molly with, the main, like the male lead, and I forget his name, Silas Whittaker. That man. That's all I can say. I remember when I was reading this book with my best friend Keisha Bam. I was just telling her that, you see, if Silas comes in real life and he says marry me, you guys, because that dude, like, I've read so many books this year and like the male leads were cute and all, but this guy, I don't know, I just like he's a very like all these serious minded people, and I don't know, I just felt like it made sense because I'm not overly serious minded, though people think I am when they date me in real life, but I'm not though. It's just not just packaging, but I just feel like we'll be good together, me and Silas. And I know I didn't tell you much about the book, but it's a great book, okay? I don't want this video to be long. The two books were great. I didn't even tell you about the girl that they paired Miles with. Her name is Val Locklear. She's Molly's, I think, editor and then stroke best friend. She edits, because Molly is social, she was because later in the book she's no longer, but she used to do like social media. She was an influencer, so she makes videos obviously, and then Val used to edit the books for her, edit the videos for her. Oh my god. But also Miles is a pastor. I didn't say that, and it was just really interesting seeing a pastor fall in love in a book, because I've actually never read a book about a pastor falling in love. Most books I've read that there's a pastor in it, they are already married. But this one, you see a pastor falling in love and it's like, okay, man of God. My number 4 is the Romcommers by Katherine Center. We talked about her earlier, but this book is about this girl Emma Wheeler and this guy Charlie Yates. So Emma Wheeler is a small town, like, she's not a big time screenplay yet, screenplay writer, but she loves to write stories, screenplays for movies, and she loves rom-coms specifically. So basically they send her scripts to sometimes look through them and then like do critiques on the books, on the scripts. So this time her it's so funny, her ex, who now becomes gay, is now the one sending her the scripts, because they actually remain friends. It's just a very weird thing. Please. But they remain friends, so he usually sends her jobs, and I guess because he feels guilty for dumping her, you know, whatever, leaving her for a man, because now he's even married to a man who's crazy. But he sends her this script of her like all-time favorite screenplay writer. His name is Charlie Yates, and Charlie Yates is supposed to write this rom-com script about a very popular movie from the 90s or the 80s, I don't know, but a very popular old movie. So he's supposed to like remake it, and he writes like the worst script she has ever read in her life. And she's like, what? How can Charlie write such a bad script? Actually, Charlie is not a rom-com writer. He normally writes like action movies and like just, you know, those kind of movies. So that's what he normally does. So basically, he's the producer he wants to work with gave him an ultimatum that if he's able to write this rom-com script, he will produce the movie he wants to actually produce. So obviously he now went to write the script, and it was really bad. So basically they bring Emma from the small town to LA to come and write with Charlie, and she ends up staying in Charlie's house, not in the same room because Charlie's house is big. So they end up staying in the same house and working on the script together. Obviously, you know, working together, tension begins to rise, you know, and their first meeting is really funny. This book, basically, the storyline, or should I say the take home of the story, is never meet your idols, because, you know, because he wasn't all that, but obviously he becomes all that, because, you know. Number 3 is Picking Daisies on Sundays by Liana Cincotti. Guys, this book is the last book I just read, and it entered number 3. I just read this book literally last week, and I am in love. Guys, I can literally make a 200-minute video about this book because it was really good. The girl in this book, her name is what's her name? I read this book last week. Her name is Daniela. They call her Danny, and her family members call her Daisy. And then the guy, I love his name so much, Levi Coldwell. So basically, I know I've said basically like 200 times. Let's do basically counts. So the book takes us through the story of this. They were best friends from like high school, and then Danny has always been in love with Levi. Not always, but she has been in love with him for a long time, and obviously he has never seen that she's in love with him. And finally on prom night, she now decides that, you know what, I can't take this anymore. I'm going to tell him that I love him. And then she now tries to tell him, and then sees him with another girl. You know, just, you know how all those miscommunication scenes, they don't know what happened. They need to start communicating more in these movies and books, man, because every time they'll just waste so much time of their lives because they didn't communicate. So now she's now angry, or she was heartbroken that he loved another girl, you know. She now stopped talking to him. Then they didn't even talk for like a whole 4 years after she finished high school. So throughout her college years, they didn't talk till her final year. That's when they now meet each other again at a bar, and you know, sparks rekindle and all that. But I'm like, you guys just start communicating so that I don't lose 4 years. So basically, just takes us through that, and now she meets him, and then they now have to do like this fake dating thing because he's trying to win some job. It's just a whole thing, but it's the whole fake dating trope with your former best friend. You know how that goes. So it was a really nice book, and I really loved. Oh my goodness! I think the reason I loved this book so much is because I can relate. That story for another day, but yeah, I loved the book. Number 2 is You Belong With Me by Mhairi McFarlane. This woman's name is actually spelled with an M, but she wrote the pronunciation. She said it's Mhairi. I think she's like Scottish or Irish, but I know she's British. I know all those British names, they can have like different spellings, different pronunciation, but her name is Mhairi McFarlane. And gosh, this book would have been my number 1, but my number 1, the author is untouchable. She can't be on any, she can't be less than 1, so you know. But I really loved You Belong With Me, and I was just raving about the book yesterday, and that's what even inspired me to say I'm going to make my top reads of this year. I really loved this book. It's about this babe. Her name is Edie Thompson. Her full name is actually Edith, but they call her Edie Thompson. And then there's also an actor superstar dude. His name is Elliot Owens, and she's just a like normal girl, you know. Apparently there's like a book 1 that Mhairi wrote like some years ago, and then this is book 2. I didn't read book 1, but if you read this book, you'll be able to piece like 1 or 2 things together, because basically she and Edie and Elliot had actually met in book 1, and then Edie helped him write some autobiography, you know, and then obviously they fell in love, and then Edie decided that the relationship will not work because him is a superstar, Hollywood, and she doesn't want to follow him to America because they are British. She doesn't want to leave the UK. I think they are in UK. I think so. So, you know, she decided that the relationship is not going to work, and then she left, or she broke up with him. So now the book opens with him coming back into her life, and it's just very beautiful. Actually, one thing that really intrigued me about this book is that Elliot is like 4 years younger than Edie, but his maturity, it made me start to reconsider that it doesn't matter this age thing, but it depends. It's not everybody. It's not every younger guy me I will go and dating. But this guy was really mature, and I don't know, just the way he handled Edie's insecurities, because Edie was very insecure about him being like a superstar and her being an ordinary girl. She didn't think she's that pretty and all that. She was really, and to be honest, like I understand her insecurities, because it's like you're just living your normal life and all of a sudden you're beginning to be photographed everywhere you go, and they are writing articles about you and all that. But the way Elliot just handled the whole thing, it's just really beautiful. The way he always prepared her whenever things will come out before things will come out in the tabloids, and even when things will come out in the tabloid and he didn't know about them, he will always check up on her to make sure she's okay. And like when she had her fears, he just always I don't know, but the dude is just, he's solid. I think after Silas Whittaker, Elliot Owens is my number 2 guy, because no, the guy's game is high up there. So the guy was really good. So the book basically is just about them trying to figure out how to like manage their lives and like fuse their lives together now that they are a couple. So it takes you through that journey. And my last book, which I said this author cannot be touched, is The Scarlet Thread by Francine Rivers. Francine Rivers, you guys, she cannot be touched. Nobody is like Francine Rivers. Nobody. And I mean it. The Scarlet Thread is about this woman, Sierra Madrid, and it takes you through. I know I keep saying it takes you through the journey. I'm trying to sound like sophisticated, and I realize I've said it takes you through so many times, but you guys should just bear with me. So it takes you through the journey of Sierra wrestling with marriage, faith, family, all that. She has her husband. His name is Alex Madrid, and Alex, basically, that man was selfish. Like, he deserved everything that came to him in that book, because I don't want to spoil it for you, but that man deserved everything that, in fact, to me, if I was Sierra Bam, what I would have done to Alex would have been worse than what she did. Like, the woman is such a good woman. Obviously, she had her flaws and everything, but that man was just selfish. Because tell me how you will move your family from the town that they have settled in to another town. You didn't even have a conversation with your wife before time. You just came and said you took a job, and like, I'm just all of a sudden supposed to like up and live my life and everything I've known, and then you're not telling me I'm not happy for you. Why would I be happy for you? Did you tell me before time? But anyways, I don't want to rant so much. But one thing I loved about the Scarlet Thread is the way he weaved together two stories. So he weaved Sierra's story with like one of her ancestors. I think her name is May or something. I can't really remember right now. But basically, Sierra's mom gives her this journal that she found in their basement, or is it in their attic now. She finds this journal and then she gives it to her for her to read. And it's so weird the way her ancestor, the woman from the early days, in her journal she writes about her journey through life, and it just the way her life and Sierra's life is so alike. It was really beautiful, and she learned a lot. Sierra learned a lot reading that woman's journal, and I just loved reading the journal entries because it's so funny, and like the story is wild and it's crazy and everything. Because the journal starts from when the woman is like young, and then you're now seeing how learning how to spell. There's this word she spells. I can't remember the word right now, but it was just really funny. And Kisha and I always make jokes about that spelling, but it was really funny. But yeah, that is my top reads of 2024. I know this video was not perfect, but I just hope that I've been able to sell to you that these books were great books. And as I said, this is just my list, so this is very, very, very subjective. If you don't agree with the ranking, that's fine with me. I read other great books. Can't remember them right now, but I read other great books. Like the number 10 I told you, I told you about The Designated Friend. It's a series, so there's The Designated Valentine, The Designated Twin, and then there's this last book. Can't remember. Is it The Designated Date? I've not read that one yet, but I've read Valentine and Twin. Great books too. But to be honest, I think The Designated Friend is my best book in the whole series. And then The Words We Lost also has the books, but I haven't read it yet. I'm actually supposed to be arranging my room because it's a mess, but here I am making a video. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will not see you in the next one because I don't know if I'm ever doing this again. Bye.